Tony, on Wake's final possession, did you think they would go to Miller McIntyre like that? And also, how about Malcolm's defense? He really seemed to keep him out of the lane.
Well, he really spread out and just to use the word I've used before, and you guys roadblocked him, right? And then I couldn't see how if he smacked the ball away or if he just, when Malcolm was spread out, if he ran into him and lost the ball. But that was a very good individual spreading out defensive possession that we needed. And so, you know, it was a one-point game. That guy is really hard to keep out of the lane. We did a decent job on their first initial action, and then it was, all right, spread the floor, he's going to attack. And we were just fortunate to make one stop at the end to come away with a tough win against a team that's really improving, and you see the pressure they put on you, and they did that without Devin Thomas. But Mitiglu, he poses some problems. You know, he's a stretch four, a European four that you matchup-wise they put you in stuff, but they got guys around him who can also attack and score, either shoot it or attack off the bounce.
After struggling to find your offensive rhythm against NC State without Justin, did you feel like you guys sort of found that in the second half?
In the second half, yeah, I really liked how we came out of the halftime. We attacked it more. We were more aggressive in our offense. We ran it to score, and that's, you know, I've said this many times, and you know, I thought sometimes we got a little ahead of ourselves against NC State. We didn't make them work. Well, then at times we didn't run it hard enough to score, and they did some good stuff defensively. But in the second half, we ran it to score. We got the ball inside. Evan hit some nice shots. It just was a nice flow, touched the paint off the dribble, and I complimented our guys for that. But what I said is we didn't do a good job. Once we got the lead, we got up 13 or 10. And then I thought we made some poor shot selection. We didn't go inside as much. We took first available shot. A couple of them that I think that was we looked a little inexperienced. Didn't finish it the way we did, but made enough plays. Better in the second half, also defensively, but not great, but better than the first half.
Tony, the three-point defense, obviously, you know, the way you're designed, that sometimes is an issue, but did you feel like they were hitting contested shots, or were you unhappy?
No, well, you know, the way you can run any system on that, but when you have a four-man that, unless you're going to switch the ball screen, but they're running ball screens with Miller McIntyre, so you switch a 5 or a 4 on him, and now they're going to attack it. He's so good at aggressive going at it, but we weren't as quick on our rotations. When we get after the ball screen, we're supposed to exit out. Our other big has to be there. It was hard for Mike. A lot of times he was the guy who had to X out, but we were just a half a step slower, not alert, and all that kid needs, he catches it, he does not. He's one of those shooters that doesn't drop the ball. It's just he catches it at his chest, and he's into his shot, and that's the way you should shoot, I believe. You know, when you start dropping it low, it takes more time. Boom, it's up, and if you're not there on the catch and he gets his rhythm going, you're in trouble. But not only that, they started getting in the lane because they had us like, well, I can't help that long. So that's what poses more problems, I think, for any defense, is that stretch four on ball screen action, and he's been on fire the last 3 games now. I think he's torching it.
Tony, Anthony went through a stretch this season where he seemed a little bit out of sync offensively. The last couple of games, he's been very efficient and effective.
Terrific.
What's he doing? What's he been doing recently that maybe he wasn't doing for a while?
Well, one, we're getting him the ball in good spots, and he's just, you know, he's turning and facing. He's you know, driving hard, and he's been making some good decisions and finishing. And I think he's hard because he really, as I said, he likes to initiate contact, or he draws fouls. He puts you a little bit at a spot where, you know, in a different way, but when they got a 4 who can stretch and shoot like that, well, we got one who can step off the lane a little bit and really attack you off the dribble, and that puts pressure on the defense, and, you know, he's been able to get to the spots where he needs to drop them in. So, yeah, we needed all of that without a doubt.
Would you discuss your defensive tactics on Thomas and impact on game, Tony?
Yeah, well, he got in foul trouble, and that obviously hurt them. You know, like any, we were trying to just make it hard for him. You know, the guys that were on him did a pretty good job. We'd trap him when he got it, and just not give him good looks because he's so continuous. He's one of the few guys, what he's averaging the double-doubles. And even when we trapped the post, it's not like we gave up stuff with Mitiglu. We just had trouble with their ball screen action when we were trying to – it's good stuff. It really is, and you have to have that kind of player in that spot, and it puts you in makes you make some tough decisions.
You lose your top three-point shooter when Justin goes out. You haven't shot the ball well on threes the last 2 games. What do you think going forward?
I think we have to continue to look inside. I think you have to take the shots in the offense that are there from three. It doesn't maybe have to be quick and early. And I thought, again, a few times when we got that lead, we had some poor shot discernment. And I think you got to know who you are, all right? We're not, setting the records for three-point percentage these last couple games, so let's get it move, attack the paint, throw it inside. But if it's in room and rhythm, absolutely take it, because Malcolm and London can shoot that. London can shoot it. But we can't live and die by it. That's not who we are. Absolutely, and that's why Evan was big. I thought Malcolm maybe took one or two that it was at the end of the shot clock, so he had to take some. Most of London's were great shots. I mean, they really were. The ball moved, his feet were set, and you just got to step up and shoot those. I won't ever argue about that. So, you keep getting the good looks, keep going inside, and having a balance.
On that same idea, you came into the year saying you wanted to be more inside out this year.
Yep.
Do you feel like you guys maybe got away from that and now are being forced kind of back to what you originally saw?
Well, we got away from it in the first half. We got to it in the first 10 minutes of the second half, and we got away from it at the end of the game. We're I guess, inside amnesiacs. We forget that you got to go through the post. You got to touch inside when you're scoring. You know what I mean? Or even touching inside if he's off the lane. And that's an important part of any offense, going inside out and playing through it. And again, when Mike's in there, we certainly want to go to him. There's just some hard matchups on the other end. So yeah, we'll always keep looking at that and keep trying to find ways to be more efficient, but you also can get there off the bounce and get to the paint. There's different ways to touch the paint and go inside, and we have to keep exploring that and, not live and die by the three. And I mean, at 12 threes, probably a couple too many, but you got to take some.